I'm here near the corner of James and Wisconsin Streets in front of our Sister City mural nestled among downtown businesses on the east side. Today, we're going to learn all about our sister city, Åmål, Sweden. Welcome to the Mayor's Corner. I'm Mayor James Boyd. In each episode of the Mayor's Corner, we plan to take you to explore a different part of the city of De Pere as we discuss the latest happenings in our community. Plus, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at various areas of city government. Most of all, we want to show you all there is to celebrate about the city of De Pere. We're here near the corner of James and Wisconsin Streets in front of our Sister City mural on De Pere's east side. De Pere has been a partner with Åmål, Sweden through Sister Cities International for 15 years. Sister Cities International was founded by President Eisenhower in 1956 to encourage international partnerships that promote shared exchanges of ideas and initiatives between communities. The mural behind us was painted by artists from Åmål, Sweden, to represent our Sister Cities partnership. That leads us to today's guest. Today we're chatting with Kim Thompson. Kim oversees the Sister Cities program and works to coordinate various initiatives with citizens of De Pere and Åmål. Thanks for chatting with us today, Kim.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great. First of all, could you give us a bit of background on our Sister Cities partnership and explain how you got involved?
Yes, actually, so back in 2007, I believe Mayor Walsh at that time and other city officials had checked into the opportunity of Sister Cities Connections, which is, the idea is to have communities better understand each other and develop some peace and understanding through a cultural exchange between the cities. And so the city at that time in 2007 started the idea and thought they would pursue it. Åmål, Sweden, had a connection economically because MedTech here in De Pere had a branch over in Åmål, Sweden.
Oh.
So they started looking at that community.
Sure.
And the similarities between the two communities, and the two mayors wrote a proclamation, and it included to try to create exchanges through education and youth, through economic and tourism exchanges, and cultural exchanges.
And we renewed that relationship just very recently, correct?
Yes, you renewed it as you became the new mayor of the city of De Pere, and renewed it with Mayor Carlson from Åmål, Sweden. So that was awesome.
And very, very proud to do that, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're going to say something else?
No, in terms of my involvement, I wasn't directly involved in 2007, but there's been a number of delegation visits where we've had Swedes come here, or we've sent people there. And those delegations are so fruitful because it actually helps us spur new ideas for connections. And so I had seen an article in the De Pere newspaper at that time that there was a delegation coming from Åmål, Sweden. And I'm also involved with AFS International Intercultural Programs, which is a high school student exchange program. And really, they have a very similar mission to promote peace and understanding through cultural exchange through a host family and a student exchange. So a family relationship and a city relationship is what the Sister Cities provides. Sure. But anyhow, there was an invite to attend the Sister Cities meeting if you were interested, and I have a great interest in that cultural exchange. I went to the meeting, and my involvement continued from there.
Well, that's awesome. Well, let's kind of build off of that. Have you been to Åmål as part of this experience, and how did that go if you had gone there?
Yes, so I had the opportunity in 2018 to visit Åmål. The purpose of that delegation is Åmål was actually celebrating 375 years.
Yeah.
And they had invited representatives from all their sister cities. They actually have 4 other sister cities in different countries.
Can you name them?
Well, there was Germany and Estonia, and I think I forget the other 2.
Okay, well, you got a couple of them. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Great.
But it was great to have that interaction there. But Mayor Walsh and myself were able to attend that anniversary. It was an awesome celebration. They even brought part of De Pere there because they had ordered specifically made Saruji chocolate bars, and those were handed out to the community at large over there.
Great.
We had some great displays of all our sister cities in their library. We were able to tour the schools. I was able to connect the exchange students that had all come to De Pere.
Had great meals?
Yes, we had great meals. That's right.
How was the weather?
The weather at that time was a spring temperature, so it was pretty good temperatures as well. I was going to say that we also were able to tour the downtown and tour the schools and encourage more teachers to be connected with the partnership.
Of which, by the way, I think we do have some kind of teacher partnership with teachers there and teachers here. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, in the area of education, we've really had some great partnerships. Starting at the elementary level, we've had teachers from West De Pere and East De Pere who have been pen paling with students in Åmål, Sweden.
Oh, that's great.
So you have kind of that connection at an elementary level. At the high school level, we've had classes are doing Zoom connections. Even though we have a 7-hour difference, we've been able to work out a morning call over to Sweden in their
so
afternoon.
7 in the morning, it's pretty much 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon there or whatever?
Exactly, yeah. And then we have some connections at the St. Norbert College level where the college has done different conferences, seminars, Zoom connections, and they even had a global seminar where there was a group of students that went to Sweden for 2 to 3 weeks and studied their government, their culture, their city systems, and so that they actually received credit as they did that three-week tour in Åmål.
That's fantastic. So I was at a mayor conference about a month and a half ago, and we're talking to the mayors and sister city programs. I was amazed that some sister cities like La Crosse, some cities in Wisconsin, like La Crosse, for example, have I think 11 or 12 sister cities. So we have the one.
Yes.
Any interest in the program expanding to another?
Oh, we would love to.
No pressure on you.
We would
Obviously,
love
you're
to
looking at me as well, but
that's right. Yeah, no, we've talked about it and have talked about a few other connections. We really treasure our relationship with Åmål, Sweden, have had so many things going, but yeah, we do talk about the opportunity to expand.
So maybe with this going out there and people seeing this, if they somehow see it and know of someone else or a different city, they can connect with you and or the city of De Pere, and we can talk from there.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Great. All right, when this program first started in De Pere, a large focus was on economic development and tourism. What have the two cities done to learn from each other in these areas?
Yeah, so again, when some of the delegations have come over, we've been able to tour the city and tour different businesses.
Sure.
Definitely De Pere has been a great part of that. They've made presentations about different things that they do to encourage retail growth in the community here.
Do they have an equivalent of definitely De Pere in
They do,
Åmål?
and what was cool about that is the director of their counterpart of Definitely De Pere visited Åmål, Sweden, and they really love that clock that sits on just across the bridge in West De Pere.
Just across the bridge on the west
right.
side, sure.
And she went home and thought, what a great connection. She searched and researched and found that she could purchase that clock, I think, from England, and purchased a comparable clock, and it is in there.
We have a copy
downtown.
clock.
Yeah, we
how
do.
about
So
that?
it kind of brings our cities connected. Let me tell you, they did love Sarujis, and as I mentioned before, economically, they did order some special bars for our their 375th
What would be their
anniversary.
special, kind of a business that just stands out for Åmål, Sweden, as far as a retail type shop?
Just like De Pere, and that's one of the connections, it has a small town charm.
Sure.
They don't have large chain stores, but a lot of small town businesses with little cute restaurants. The connection between the two cities is that they are on a body of water as well. Of course, we have the Fox River and they have Lake Venerd. So in the summertime, there's a lot of nature, fishing, outdoor activities, and we've learned Sweden's treasure their time outside and their nature.
So the city and the stakeholders have made efforts to prioritize public art. We're standing in front of a mural that reflects that and reflects the partnership we have with Åmål, Sweden. Can you tell us about the development of this mural and what it represents?
Yeah, so again, with the delegations, another idea was in the area of art, and they have a local art gallery like we have so many here in De here. And the idea was, how could we make an art exchange and also communicate about our connection? So we looked for a building opportunity, and standing in front of Exo Fitness, he had offered his wall. They sought out artists that could do something visually that represented the connection between the two cities. So the artist had submitted this presentation. It's called Interlaced.
Interlaced.
The blue and green represents the water in both of our cities.
Sure.
As I mentioned, we're both on Bayswater. And then the pink braids come together, interlaced, intertwined together. The braids represent each of our cities' strength, and then intertwined together our connection that we've brought together. We've most recently finally have a plaque on the wall that explains that connection.
Yep.
And hopefully more people can enjoy and see that. They also enjoyed painting it, because our artists that came from Sweden, they spent 2 weeks here. They started out inviting the community to come. So underneath that artwork are a lot of paintings done by area residents. A lot of youth in the area came out and painted on a couple of days.
Well, that's some neat tidbit information.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will get the message out there as to what that is.
Yes.
So do we have something there in Åmål that they did in
I
in
just
return?
spoke to our contact this morning. We have not done that yet, but that's an opportunity that we hope to do.
Oh, great, outstanding. All right, the City and Åmål were recently honored with the 2022 Innovation in Youth and Education Award from Sister Cities International. What work does this award recognize, and what does it mean to you and others who work on these partnerships?
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. We all faced the challenges of the pandemic, but our Sister City connection didn't stop. We had to connect through Zoom anyhow because we're across the ocean, and we have a teacher in Åmål, Sweden, named Henrik, who had visited De Pere and really wanted to connect his history and religion class with a class here. So Randy Soki from De Pere High School had his history class, again at 7 a.m. our time, about 2 o'clock their time. And so the kids would connect via Zoom once a month. They shared pictures of each of their communities. They shared ideas about their schools. They had discussions about comparing legal systems, and even some fun cultural things like homecoming and things that we experience here.
Sure.
But the connection continued on, and when the morning class actually didn't work out the next year, Randy started a Sister Cities Club to continue the connections, and it will continue this year. I think that what we really love about that is that this organization is not just for us. It's about sharing culture and helping the understanding of the whole community. And so when we do these connections with the high school through classes, you have more and more kids knowing about what's going on. When we have student exchange, where we have had 6 exchange students from Åmål, Sweden come spend a year here, you're interacting with more people. The Pen Pal program, all those programs are making it a community educational opportunity and making the world a little bit smaller for the people of De Pere and the students at De Pere High School.
Great, that's the understanding that we need in the world today. So if we start small and it works to something bigger, that's great. Now let's kind of go off that a little bit. You talked about the Åmål folks, visiting, whatever. We had a contingent come to De Pere a little while back. How did that go, and kind of describe that?
Yeah, again, another connection that was discovered is that when the Syrian crisis happened in 2015, Sweden, and in particular Åmål, wound up taking in a number of refugees from Syria, and so they've been learning on how to assimilate those people in the Swedish culture. Well, we also have a strong representation from St. Norbert College. Professor Robert Pine is at the Norma Miller Peace and Justice Center on St. Norbert campus, and so he deals with that refugee assimilation as well through his programs and through his involvement with COMSA. So they have, he went there and it presented some information on refugee resettlement, and so this most recent delegation was people that both worked for the city of Åmål, helping to assimilate refugees, and it was a special program that a couple of the other people were involved with. So they came here and really there was a great schedule where they were learning about refugee assimilation here and how different companies here are hiring refugees. So it was a real exchange of information on another area of connection. So it was a great opportunity to, again, exchange information on that topic and also show our community to them as well.
That's great. So you spent some time with me, which was great over the week, and then also met up with our fire chief, Al Matsky. How did that go for the crew?
You know, it's so, first of all, it's so fun to compare how both those entities work in
Sure.
each country, but that was a thrill for them. They couldn't believe that they were having the opportunity to ride in an American fire truck.
Sure.
And
they
so that
did.
and they did, yeah. And so that was, I think, one of the highlights of their trip. But again, it also just always interesting to compare. You know, it's not right or wrong, it's different, and what can we learn from each other?
Cool. The delegation joined us at City Hall toward the end of their visit. They met with myself and Fire Chief Al Matsky. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights of that visit. Of the mayor and the county council. How do we do that? So I mean, obviously, you know, police and fire is one of our big things, but roads, streets, schools are not. They're their own municipality. Yep. Is that the same? You guys handle schools too. Yep. We have our own health department. We handle the parks.
5 minutes. Be at the station, dressed and ready to go. So that we pass.
The vehicle that you're assigned to dictates what your job is. So if you're assigned to this vehicle, your responsibility is to ventilate the building, rescue anybody that's in the building, and take care of the utilities, turn the power off, turn the gas off.
Thanks for all you do, Kim, with Sister Cities International, and congratulations on the award. We at the city could not be more proud of you, the organization, and our relationship with the Mall Sweden. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully you'll have the opportunity to visit a mall someday.
I would like that very much.
Thank you.
And now to a few city updates. De Pere Fire Rescue celebrated 150 years with an open house on September 24th. The family-friendly event had snacks and refreshments, fire station tours, demonstrations, and even face painting. Congratulations to our De Pere Fire Rescue team for all their hard work. Here's to another 150 years. Fall is here, and that means our Public Works Department will be busy keeping our city tidy. We wanted to remind you about the upcoming leaf and brush collections. Brush collection will start October 10th. Public Works asked that brush be on the curb by 6:30 a.m. on the 10th, and the department will make its way around the city throughout the week. Leaf collection will begin October 17th and run through November 18th. Staff asks that all leaves be at the curb no later than 6:30 a.m. on November 14th. To see the full printable calendars for leaf and brush collection, head to the Public Works area of the city website at dprwi.gov. That's it for this episode of the Mayor's Corner. We'll see you again soon with another behind-the-scenes look at the city of De Pere and all this beautiful city has to offer. I'm Mayor James Boyd.